Well, we are back chatting with design duo extraordinaire Colin McAllister and Justin Ryan. Brand new series, Colin and Justin's Cabin Pressure, premieres tonight on Cottage Life. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But first, let's talk about your incredible relationship with Cityline. You guys are on a few times a month, so lots of opportunity to see you. What do you like most about doing this show? Comedians love it.
You know, I mean, for us, you know, our big message has always been, you know, it's not on how much money you spend, it's how you spend it. You know, we've always wanted to do really ordinary homes and make them extraordinary. And I think that's the great thing about Cityline, is that actually it's really aware of all the trends, you know, and all the kind of really high-end fashions that are out there, but it brings them home, and then it shows you how to actually do that in your own space, you know. So I think it really connects with the audience. And for us, it's amazing. Like, we get, like, everyone comes up to us in the street like that. Oh, I saw this on Cityline, and they ask you questions about the things that were. I mean, we were on yesterday, and somebody met me this morning and said, "Was that a mural you had on the wall there? That kind of like timber?" And you're like, wow, people actually pay attention, and then they want to do it.
Well, because it would otherwise it would be lifestyles of the rich and famous,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like you can't just be a voyeur. People want to know how to do this themselves,
Of course
and that's
they
what
do.
you guys are about.
And I mean, we've come from a design background before we moved into kind of television in the broader sense, but we've come from a background where we just simply made people's homes beautiful. And we didn't tend to work within the domain of multimillionaires who would spend 200 grand or 300 grand on a kitchen. We worked in ordinary homes and made them extraordinary. And I think that's why we feel such a good fit with Cityline, because our audience have come to expect that. They've come to expect that we'll do things that are aspirational, attainable. Tracy's obviously a joy. I mean, she's an absolutely brilliant asset to City. She's made Cityline her own, and it's a really good fun show to do. We feel a really big part of that family.
Now, aside from doing all the design work that you do a lot of other television, including coverage for the Toronto International Film Festival for Entertainment City. Talk about that, because we were chatting a little bit earlier, and I think the stars really appreciate your irreverence. Not that you don't appreciate them and how, you know, famous and notable they are, but you like to have fun with them.
Well, you know what, they're people as well, you know, and like our thing is, it must be so boring to be asked the same questions time after time after time and to be enthusiastic. So we tend to treat our celebrities the way we treat everyone, which is well, but get a bit of fun in there, and it brings out the best of them. I think my favourite interview was Madonna. We interviewed Madonna, and we decided to wear kilts because we're Scottish. She got married in Scotland, so we were thinking, okay, maybe there's a connectivity there. Madonna came over, and if for any Scots watching this, you know your sporran, which is your little furry fanny pack that sits in the front of you. Madonna picked mine up and stroked it like a Bond villain, like tickling a kitten. She was like, "Rrr, rrr," and I just stood there like, oh my God, Madonna is stroking me. So fabulous.
That's why we are. Do you know what? We are completely. You mentioned the word irreverence. We are kind of irreverent, but we really have fun with them.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said, they get asked the same. What's it like being in Toronto?
Sure.
Tell me about the film. They're used to those questions, so we try and kind of switch it up a couple of gears. And also, selfishly, we're excited to meet them. Do you know? We're really excited. So we're not just going to do the humdrum, and we just have fun. We kick it off.
Well, sometimes you can be too excited. But
Have you been?
We interviewed Emma Thompson at last year's TIFF, and there was a thing that actually went viral on Twitter called the TIFF Tumble. And there's actually, look for this, it's on YouTube, and there's a great bit where we're with Emma Thompson, and Justin just disappears.
I actually fell because she had these big crazy shoes on, and I was just fixating about her hooves. And I was looking down, and she said to me quietly off camera, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Your shoes." And as I did that, I moved and I turned, and I caught the corner of one of those posts, you know, the ones that holds the red rope, and I literally went down in front of her. I literally fell to the ground, jumped up in a split second though, professional to the end.
Well, and she is an incredible sense of humor. I just wanted to make a mention again of Colin and Justin's Cabin Pressure, which premieres tonight on Cottage Life. And you wanted people to know that it, other than allowing us to take a look into your lives, which is sort of unique, it is instructional as well. This is going to teach people how to do this transformation.
It really is. I mean, we have an awful lot of fun, and it is high impact, and we are splitting the atom at the lake. However, the programme, as you said, is a really measured observation at the same time of how to do things nicely and how to make rooms gorgeous. And we have so many creative solutions to all the problems that we encounter. And each episode has its own beautiful reveal at the end. So there's a lot of carnage and excitement and running around screaming. But there is so much design information, and we're so proud of it. And it's taken, I mean, it really has, it's in some ways going to the lake has taken 20 years off us because we're big outdoors boys now. But it's added 20 20 years on because it was such a taxing show to do.
I mean, you guys, honestly, you take this for granted, Canada. You are the luckiest people on the planet. You know, it's such incredible, incredible countryside, which does something to your psyche, you know, and it's always with you. It does take away your stress. And suddenly, you know, like for two Brits and for two city boys, you know, we joke that we live between Glasgow, London, Toronto, like a law firm. And for two city boys to suddenly be aware of the new moon, the change in seasons. Like, one of our friends sent us a text the other day to say there are wolf tracks around our house. We were like, we've got wolf tracks, it's so cool.
A friend of ours arrived to the lake, and the moment he arrived, he's actually a big straight guy from Britain, but he got to the lake and he started to cry, and he said, I have never seen anywhere so perfect. He'd had a really good time in Toronto, he'd done a tour of Canada, and he came to the lake and he just actually cried, and he said, you boys are so lucky to have become part of this country, and we never forget that. It's really heartfelt. Canada has been so incredibly welcoming to us, and if we can give anything back to this country and help you guys make your homes that little bit nicer, then we've done what we set out to do.
Well, we do love you. We have the clip we were talking about, you were talking about earlier, your little tumble, your tip tumble.
Look.
Here we go.
Yeah, look, isn't she just...
Colin just laughed.
She's just, I mean, she's so much fun.
Oh,
right?
she's brilliant fun.
Fabulous.
I love Emma Thompson anyway. And she was so gregarious, and so obviously she's got big connections to Scotland, so she's got a brilliant Scottish accent, and we had a lot of fun with her, but literally fell to my feet, fell to my heels, fell to the floor in front of our chaos.
Well, luckily we have you sitting down today.